Okay, so we discussed some of the important things about the literature review before, how to do the literature review. You have the source with you, which is sci-hub.st. SCI Hub, sci-hub.st. This was the source where you can search your literature review. Okay, what can be the important aspects of literature review? First of all, let us take the definition of literature review. So, literature review is about the selection of available documents on the topic which contains information, ideas, data, and evidence written from a particular standpoint to fulfill certain aims or express certain views on the nature of the topic and how it is to be investigated and the effective evaluation of these documents. What does it mean? It's a long definition, but what you need to know about this definition is that literature review is about selection. Selection of what? Selection of important documents related to your research area. And the second thing is the evaluation. So what is evaluation about? Evaluation is about whether this area is like contributing similar to your area. So you need to evaluate the documents. You need to check the documents whether these papers or books or any article it is related to your research. If it is related to your research, then if it is related to your research, then it is the right type of literature review. Okay, so selection and evaluation of documents. Now here we need to be very focused. Why? Some people they think books, we can refer to the books as well. Yes, we can. But that reference should not be more than like 2 or 3 books in one research paper. It is not like that you can put many books references in your research paper. Why? There is a reason behind it. Because books are always old. What does it mean? If a book is published in 2020, then think about it. It took 1 year for the publisher to publish the book. So that means book was ready in 2019. And it would have taken at least 1 year to the author to write that book. What does it mean? It means at least the material inside that book is like 2 years old. At least it is 2 years old. So what does it mean? Books are always old. Even if you have the new version of a book, it is at least 2 years old. At least 2 years old. So first thing. Second thing, books are not peer reviewed. Peer review, I told you what about peer review. Peer review means that okay, there are some in a journal article. What we do in a journal article, we will send it to some journal. That journal will evaluate your research paper. How? They will send it to some researchers in your area. They will send it to some researchers in your area, and those researchers would not know that who has written this paper. So it's a blind review actually. They don't know who is the author, and authors don't know who are the reviewers. So what will happen that in a literature review they will see your work only, and they will tell whether the work is of some quality or not. If they accept your work, that means your work is of quality. Peer review is a very important aspect. Books are never peer reviewed. For example, this is a book. No one reviewed it. whether the material inside this book is okay or not. Only there is a publisher, and the publisher, he publishes the book. That's it. So books are not peer reviewed. That is why publishers are looking for some famous authors or professors to write books. Why? Because then they will think the material inside that book is credible. That means they will use the material which is correct, which is correct in terms of the knowledge and skills. So this is a big problem, but still there is no guarantee that whatever is in the book is perfect. In journals, in research papers, as they are peer reviewed, there are reviewers who have critically analyzed your work. That means the journal articles are credible. So try, avoid giving references of books in your research paper. One or two book is okay for a basic concept. Another thing is, books are for basic concepts, not for the advanced material. In the research paper, you will find some specific research problem. That is not the case in some books. Books will give you basic concepts, right? So they will not tell you how to do research. They will not tell you on what topic you need to do research. The point is, books would contain the knowledge of body in terms of the concepts most of the time. So it's not a good idea to use books as a source of literature. Okay. Then what do we have? There are some magazine papers as well. There are students who would always ask that, okay, there is some article on in the newspaper or in some magazine, or on internet. Be careful. That material is also not peer review. Not peer review. These are the opinions of some people, right? Opinions. Opinion can be biased as well. So you cannot take it for the journal article unless there is some fact in it. Fact means there is some research. Let's say there is one newspaper which says that in Oman, the tourism industry is increasing by 7%. Now this is a fact inside that research, inside that newspaper article. You can refer to it. But if you are referring to the opinion of the writer of that article, that is not a good idea, because it's not peer review. That is the suggestion or idea of that writer of that magazine. No one has checked it. So try not to use magazines or even articles from the internet. Internet articles mean someone has written a blog. Don't take it as a reference. Don't take it as a reference. Okay. In terms of referencing, we know about the inline reference, right? If you can remember the rule was the first author is there. The first author is there. The first author is, let's say, the name of the author is let me join back. It is okay. Okay. Let's say there is one author. So I told you have to use the last name of the first author. For example, the name is Adams, Nick Adams. So Adams, and the year of publication, if there is one author. Let's say the paper was published in 2010. So Adams 2010. It will be the inline reference. Inline reference means this is the reference which we will be using inside the. Let me show you a paper. Let me share a tab of SCI Hub. Okay, share. Impact of social media. Let's say I just take a simple topic. Okay. Okay. Let me take the first one. Impact of social media on consumers. Okay. Nick Hadley. So if I want to refer to this paper was published in, where is the year? The year is 2013. Okay, so if I have to refer to this one, what will I do? I will write it like Hadley, the last name, Hadley, and 2013, the year of publication, because there is only one author in it. There is only one author in this research paper. Then see this, Lu and Xiao, 2010. This is the inline reference, Lu and Xiao. That means there are two authors in this research paper. One last name of the first author is Lu, and the last name of the second author is Xiao, Hsiao, Xiao, 2010. The paper was published in 2010. Where can I see this research paper? I can see this at the end of this paper. At the end of this paper, I told you one thing. The thing is that in a research paper, you have abstract, introduction, literature review, methodology, results, conclusion, and then we have discussed that before. Let me write it again. I will give you the assignment in which everything would be given, but for your knowledge right now, abstract, introduction, literature review, then you can call it research methodology, where you present your model. Results with discussion, and then conclusion. This is a typical flow of a research paper. Any research paper will be more or less like that. Okay. After the conclusion, there will be references. Full references, I would say full references of the research papers which you have referenced, which you have referred in the text, in the body of that paper, the research papers which you have provided the inline references, the full reference of that should be at the end. It is not like that you will give an inline reference and everyone will know which paper is that one. No, you have to provide for example, this Lu and Xiao, this should be in the end list of references. See this, there is a list of references here. References. Now, in this references, these are with the alphabetical order. Alphabetical, A, B, C. Okay, so Lu is L, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Lu and Xiao, I want to know. Here it is. So there are two authors, Lu, last name of the first author, and Xiao, KL, 2010, year of publication. Then the journal, the title of the paper will come. So after the names of the two authors, the year of publication is coming. Let me increase the view for you. I would say a bit less would be better. Okay. See this. Lu and Xiao, 2010. Then you can put a full stop here if you want. There are different variations to it, but whatever way you write, it's okay. The influence of introversion on the intention to pay for social networking sites, full stop. This is the title of their paper. This is the title of their paper. Then you will see the name of the journal which published that paper in italics. Italics means it's not straight, it is bit tilted. Okay, Information and Management is the journal name. Now this number, this is the volume number. Volume means, I told you, volume means like how many years or how many volumes they have published. Normally a journal will publish one volume in 1 year. One volume, take it is like a book. So in one volume, one journal can have many issues. For example, this is volume 47 of Information and Management journal, let's say. And in this, maybe there are 10 issues or 12 issues. Every month they will give one issue. One issue means in one issue they will publish 2 or 3 papers. One volume means the whole year papers will be there. So this is the volume number. The first one is the volume number. Second one is the issue number. Issue number 3. This is the third issue in volume 47. If I want to check it in some hard form. The page number, PP, page number 150 to 157. So in issue 3 of volume 47 of Information and Management, this article is available from page 150 to 157. Okay, let me show you another one. For example, I want to write the whole, I want to write the full reference of this paper. Full reference of this paper. Okay, so the name is Nick Hadley. So I have to use Hadley, comma, Nick. The first name, only first initial will come. Nick N. Dot, then year of publication 2013. Then the article title. The article title is A Study of the Impact of Social Media on Consumers. A study of the impact of social media on consumers. Full stop. Then the journal name will come in italics. What is the journal name? Journal name is International Journal of Market Research. International Journal of Market Research. And I will make it italic. I'll try to do it here if it is possible. Yeah, I can. Okay, full stop, comma, then volume number. What is the volume number? It tells me volume number is 56. You don't need to write VOL. You can just simply write 56, comma, then what is the issue number 3, comma, and then PP. PP stands for page. So from pages, which page to which page in that journal, it would be here. Okay, you can see this is starting from 387. The first page is 387, volume page, and the last page is 404. You can see it here. 404. (387) to 404. See this, I have put it in the chat box. So if I have given the inline reference of this paper, if I have used this paper's literature review, like I have written 2 or 3 lines about it, the inline reference will be given, but the full reference should also be given at the end in the references list. So there is only one author, Hadley, comma, N. Hadley is the last name of the first author. Nick is the first name, so you will just use the initial of it. You will just use the initial of it. And then the year of publication, then full stop. You can put a full stop here, no problem. Then the title of the research paper, the study of the impact of social media on consumers. Then full stop, then the journal name. It should come in italics. The International Journal of Market Research. Then comes volume number. Volume number is 56 in this case. And then comes the issue number. Issue number is 3. It's given on the paper. And then page 387 to 404. Now let us see some other from the paper. Okay. Fu et al. 2009. Fu, F-U-E, Fu et al. Et al. Word is coming. That means there are more than 2 authors. There are more than 2 authors. Then Fu et al. Will be used. You know that for inline reference. This is inline reference. Now, this Fu et al. Should be there in the last references list. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, E, F, F. Fu et al. This is 2009. See how many authors are there. Fu Z, comma, Li H, second author, and Venue D. So there are 3 authors to it. So that is why they have used the word Fu et al. 2009 is the year of publication. Then the title of the article, social factors in user perception and response to advertisement in online social networking communities. Full stop, then the journal name, Journal of Interactive Advertising. Volume 10, issue 1, from page number 1 to 13. Do you get my point? So how many references you will write for your paper, literature review, in how many inline references you provide? You have to provide the full reference at the end of that paper. You cannot miss any. It's a bad habit, that bad writing habit, I would say, for authors. If you give some inline reference but you forget to provide the full reference of it. Don't do that. Any question on this one? So there is an inline reference and there is a full reference. Full reference list is always available at the end of the research paper in the section named references, whereas the inline references would be available anywhere in the paper. Most of the inline references would be available in the literature review section. Most of them, not all of them. Is this point clear? So this is a good journal. If it's how do I know it's a good journal? I told you volume number tells a lot. If the volume number is more than 10, that means the journal is publishing for at least 10 years. So it must be a good journal. They must be a better ones. So if there is Chen et al. 2011, that means there are 2 papers of Chen et al. In 2011. So A, B is given. This Chen et al. Should also be there with more than 2 authors at the end. Let me see. Chen 2011. A, B, C, Chen 2011. B, where is Chen et al. 2011? A, here it is. Chen J, Shu H, and Winston A, B. 3 authors are there. Then the year of publication, 2011, A. Why A is given? Because there is another paper from Chen et al. So it will be given as B. Then moderated online communities and quality of new generated text context. This is the title. Then the journal name in italics, Journal of Management Information System, volume number 28, issue 2, page 237 to 268. Do you have any issue in it?
Sir, how do we know the page?
How do you know?
The page. Here write 237 to 268.
Okay, this is what I told you. If you see a journal paper, if you are writing by yourself, let's say sometimes what happens, this journal paper is there, I will pick some of the references from this research paper. So I will use their end references. But if you have to write your research paper number, the page number, see this. Every journal paper will have their numbers. Look, this is starting from 387, ending on 404. Let me show you another one for better understanding. This one. No, this is a kind of a presentation. I will not see this. This one. It didn't open. There is some issue with the internet. I can open another one. Okay, this one. Why? Why is there some issue with the internet? Okay, now it's open. International Journal of Computer Applications, Technology and Research. It's not a good journal. How can I tell? Volume 5. It's new. Issue 2. Look, they have given the research paper numbers as well, 71 to 75. The page number is from 71. You can see here 71, and it is coming towards 75. 75 is the last one. So you have to see the research paper if you want to see the numbers. Let us see this one. Okay. How many authors are there? 2 authors are there. The last name is Power and Ren. The paper is published in which journal? Decision Making, in page number 249 to 261. You can also see it here. Oh, they haven't given the page numbers, but they have referred to it. Look, this is 249 page. It should be here somewhere, because this is 250th page, you can see. And the last page should be, for this journal, it should be 261. Yeah, 261 is the last page. Okay, so you have to see the journal paper in order to know. Journal name is Journal of Decision Systems. Journal of Decision Systems. Even they have to cite, sometimes you will find this as well. Okay, this is another thing which journals are now giving. To cite this article, if you want to cite this article, use it like this, they are saying. This is a bit different rule in a sense that they are not using Power and Ren. I should have used Power and Ren, but this is not APA style. This is Harvard style. A bit different, but it's the same thing. Like, they have written the full name. The difference is you can see they have written the full name, Daniel J. Power and Gloria Phillips Brent. In APA style, we only use the last name of the authors to cite, but other things would be the same. Year, then the journal title, the article title, then the journal name, Journal of Decision Systems, volume 20, issue 3, from page 249 to 261. There is another thing which is called DOI. This is for online articles most of the time. DOI means date of induction. This is, if you can see, there is a hand. If you want, if I want to see this paper, this can be seen through this link. Okay. So this is DOI. Sometimes it is there. If it is there, you can put that. Otherwise, there is no need to put DOI after the page numbers. Normally, I don't put DOIs, but if it is a new article, let's say the volume number is not there, then you can give DOI. Is it clear now? So you must keep this in mind that if you have inline reference, for that inline reference, you have to provide the full reference as well. It is not like that you will provide just the inline reference and you will not provide the full reference. Inline reference, for every inline reference, there should be a full reference. Yes, does it make sense to you now? Okay, so normally what I do, or normally what researchers do, so if you have one research paper which is relevant to your research, you can pick 3 or 4 research papers from it because they have given the literature review, right? So you can pick some literature reviews from it and you can use them in your paper. So you can directly take those references from that paper as well. This is also fine. This is also fine. This will increase your research references. Remember one thing, the more literature review you provide, reviewers will think your work is more credible, it's better. Because now they think that you have read many research papers and you know what type of research has been done on that topic. So it will increase the credibility of your research paper. If they think your results are correct because the literature review is extensive, extensive means you have covered almost everything in that literature review, there are more chances they will accept your paper. For example, if I am putting some research paper which has only 10 references, let's say I'm talking about a full-fledged big paper, and there is one more research paper which has 30 references. A reviewer will tell you, anyone can tell you that, okay, in this research paper, maybe authors, they think that only few research is there for that type of a topic. Then reviewer will find it. And if they find some research paper which is not cited by you, they will reject your paper. But if you have given more literature review, reviewer would be more focused on your methodology, which you want them to do. You want them to check your method, your experiment, rather than looking at the literature review and telling you that your literature review is short. So one thing is there, you must provide recent literature. Recent means, normally if I am looking at a paper as a reviewer, let's say if I have some paper, I'm just telling you one important practice. If I am a reviewer of some paper and I review many papers every year, I will first see, this is a normal practice of reviewers. we will first see the references. So for example, you have submitted your paper in 2021, and in your reference list, I cannot find any paper above 2015. That means after 2015, you couldn't find any paper related to your area. This is a bad sign. It's not a good news. Because then as a reviewer, I will think you haven't done better literature review. Even if your literature review is okay, but you couldn't find any studies in the last 5 or 6 years related to that topic, then as a reviewer, I will say, your topic is not interesting. That is why people are not working on this topic anymore. Do you get my point? So there is a reason behind it. Even if you say that there is no paper published on this topic after 2015, okay. But then the question is, if no paper has been published after 2015, that means either every research on this topic has been done, so that is why new researchers are not doing any research on it, or the research topic is no more interesting to the research community. So always remember, your reference list is very important, and you should cite some new papers as well. Keep this in mind. You should cite. In future, whenever you are writing a research paper, you should cite. Cite means you are giving the references. Citation, we call it citation. You should cite new research papers as well. Maybe it can be 1 or 2, but it should be there. It should be there. You have to provide research papers related to your topic which are recent. That is why we call it research. You are researching the same thing, but you are coming up with different results or different concept. Let me know if this point is clear. Is this clear what I told you right now? If you have questions, please ask. Yes, if you please let me know if this is clear or not.
Yes, Mr.
What about others? Okay. So now let me move towards the new chapter. Which is about the research process, collecting your data. Okay, in this chapter, we will be talking about the quantitative data and questionnaire design. So this is about investigation. Now you know what is investigation. Investigation is explanatory study, right? Explanatory research. That means your contribution could be adding some new variable into the existing research, or the context is new. Both things are possible. Explanatory research, we know that it can be descriptive, it can be analytical. If it is descriptive, then there are two types. Do you remember? Cross-sectional and longitudinal. If it is analytical, then it can be cause and effect or association. I hope you remember that. So the point is, now we will be discussing only about explanatory research. And for explanatory research, the process of your research will be the process. The purpose of the research is, let's say, explanatory. Then the process of the research would be quantitative. It would be quantitative. Quantitative research would be there. Quantitative research means that you need to collect data in numbers. You need to collect data in numbers, or you will collect data in words, but you can change it objectively into numbers. Objectively into number means you and me will do the same way. That is why it is quantitative data. So in this chapter, in this unit, we will be talking about quantitative data. And of course, we will be talking about how to design a questionnaire. Okay, see this research process. Now you should know this research process, where we are standing. We now know how to choose a topic and what we should include in the topic. Then the review of the literature is there. Literature review is there. I told you, based on that literature review, you will be writing your research problem, research objectives, research questions, and hypothesis, if this is explanatory research. Then the next step is to design the research instrument. Here we are now. So we have completed stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Now we are on stage 4. So there are 4, 5, 6, and the 7th stage is to write a report. So before that, I need to design a research instrument. Okay, see this pyramid. Remember, you have a topic, you have a research problem, then the purpose of the research or research objectives, research questions are there, and then hypothesis is there. This is for exploratory research or explanatory research.
Explanatory research.
Explanatory research, good. Why? Because the hypotheses are there, right? Hypotheses are not there for exploratory research. Exploratory research doesn't have hypothesis. We know that. Okay. So questionnaire, a list of questions that several people will answer, are asked, so that information can be collected about something. So questionnaire, why would you design a questionnaire? You want the opinion of the people. You want to know the behavior of the people. What will you do? You will go for questionnaire. You will go for questionnaire. This is the definition given by Cambridge Advanced Learner's Dictionary and Thesaurus in 2012. According to Collis and Hussey, 2009, questionnaire would be a list of carefully structured questions. So that means questionnaire is structured. Structured means I will try to ask you questions so that I would know from these questions what is the purpose of these questions. It is not like that I will be asking you the same type of questions in every questionnaire. So there will be a purpose for a questionnaire. What is this questionnaire for? Let's say this is for the impact of social media on student e-learning. Then in my questionnaire, I should have questions on social media, which I will ask from the students. And it should have questions about the e-learning perspective as well. That means it should be structured. I should know what is the purpose of my research paper. And for that, what type of questions should be there in the questionnaire? Okay, so it should be structured. Structured means you know which type of questions should be there in your questionnaire. And another thing, you have chosen those questions after considerable testing. Now this is important. Your questions has been tested before you can use them. That means it is not like that. I would think about questions on social media and I will put it in the questionnaire. No. The questions which you are using in your questionnaire should be, we call it them adopted and adapted. What does it mean? Adopted questions are those questions which I will take directly from the previous research papers. So in previous research papers, I would find some questions on social media. Normally, it is given in the appendix, or even sometimes inside the research paper, they will point out to some of the questions. If I'm using these questions directly, same as it is, I will call them adopted questions. Same question from, let's say, Hadgley 2013. So from the paper of Hadgley 2013, let's say I am taking one paper, some questions, I will tell that these are adopted questions. Adopted means same wording. Even I will not change the wording of the questions. Adapted means adopted. Those questions are adopted as it is. Adopted means as it is. Adapted means you will take some questions, but according to the context, let's say you are doing that research in Oman, here according to the context, you will change the wording of some questions. So you will call them adapted questions. So there are adopted questions, there are adapted questions. So your questionnaire is not coming from your thinking that you think this question should be there. No. You are adopting the questions as well as adapting the questions. Adopting means as it is, you are taking it from the other research papers. Adapted means you are taking the questions from other research papers, but you are changing some of the wording according to your context. Is this point clear? So there are adopted questions, there are adapted questions. You must know that your questionnaire or survey tool is a combination of adopted and adapted questions. If in your questionnaire you have all the questions as adopted questions, this is okay. If in your questionnaire all the questions are adapted, this is also fine. But you must provide the references of those papers from whom you have taken the questions, whether they are adopted, whether they are adapted. Okay, so you must keep this in mind. I'm not feeling well today, so I will end the class here. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask. So you must know in terms of questionnaire, the questionnaire can be adopted as well as adapted, or both. Maybe my question is a combination of adopted and adapted question. Normally we have both adopted and adapted questions in our questionnaire. So we don't make questions, we adopt and adapt questions. today is 31st.